Is there a lesson for Canada and Justin Trudeau in the elections that are taking place in the United States today? In the United States, for the first time, a new kind of politics is emerging, which could be around the corner in Canada too. The politics of caste, creed, religion, ethnic race, nationality. All these are becoming vote banks and they will vote in a particular manner. While it does not so much so affect a presidential form of election, an election where MPs or the number of MPPs you have will be a very different business altogether. And this is the political arithmetic that most political parties use in India to also win elections. Because in India, we have become old hands at handling the elections of different castes and vote banks and different religions. For example, what is happening in the Kamala Harris election? Kamala Harris is being supported by blacks, by Asians, by Hindus, by Muslims, and all these account for almost 22% of the vote. Sorry, I forgot to include Latinos, Mexicans, etc. Kamala Harris is also being supported by women voters because abortion is a big issue in the United States. Kamala Harris, therefore, has a slight edge over Trump because then she only has to fight for 35% of the vote to win. And at present, she has a narrow margin. Since she is being backed by Michelle Obama and Barack Hussein Obama, the vote of the black American population is also strongly behind her. So, is there a message for both Poilievre and Justin Trudeau in this? Yes, the Conservative Party and Trudeau's Liberals are right now both dependent on the NDP to form a government. If there is a fresh election and Trudeau does not get a majority, and if he gets the support of the NDP, he may be able to form a Liberal Party government again. Similarly, if Poilievre does not manage to get a full majority, he may need to take the support of the NDP to form the government. The NDP will go whichever way it favors the NDP, and they will, of course, support a candidate who speaks for their political causes. So, what happens here? How does an Indian situation apply to a Canadian election? In India, it's very simple. Let's suppose you have 100 voters in a constituency, and let us say that 55% of these voters are Muslims and Christians, and the rest, which is 45%, are Hindus. So it is obvious that a Muslim candidate or a Christian candidate backed by Muslims will have a chance of winning and a Hindu candidate will not. But what happens? When you have such a contest, the Hindu party can easily put another Muslim candidate in the field or may field a Muslim candidate or a Christian candidate on its Hindu party ticket. So he manages to cut away a size of the Christian vote and gets enough votes to get, say, 51% of the vote and wins the election. So, thereby defeating the majority Hindus and the majority Muslims and Christians in the constituency. Then there is another tactic which most parties use, that is creating a B team. For example, if somebody wants to defeat the NDP in an election, all they have to do is to set up another candidate who espouses the same causes, who speaks on the same lines that the NDP would speak on or champion, and he will take away a share of the NDP's votes, thereby paving a way for the conservatives or the liberals to win in that area. The third trick that most people use in India is get a good deal or liaison with all the political parties that are contesting in your area and buy their tickets. When you buy the tickets, you get your gardener, your driver, your maid to contest against you in the elections. So people say to hell with it. Why vote for the maid? Why vote for the gardener? Why vote for the driver? Vote for the main man himself. And this way, the main man manages to retain power. For example, is there a lesson for Rahul Gandhi in all this? Maybe in the next elections, assembly elections in Uttar Pradesh, Rahul Gandhi could float a B team called, say, a Rashtravadi Hindu party. And this Rashtravadi Hindu party could just talk about building temples in each and every district headquarter of Uttar Pradesh. Because Uttar Pradesh does not have any grandiose temple like the Akshardham temple or the Swaminarayan temple or even the Hindu Heritage Center that we have here in Canada. So this party will cut away a sizable chunk of the BJP's votes and reduce their chances of forming a government in Uttar Pradesh in 2027. These are political games and political arithmetic may emerge in Canada today. We see a clear divide right now in Canada in the Hindu community, which plans to vote for the Conservatives, despite the fact that Bolivia called off the Diwali celebrations. Maybe after this move by Bolivia, the Hindus may reconsider and try and vote for Justin Trudeau. There is another issue here. The Muslim and Sikh vote could unite and vote in favor of the NDP. So, how does Trudeau, or for that matter, how does Bolivia win over the Muslims and separate them from the Sikhs? The politics of caste, creed, religion, and ethnicity has come to Canada also.